All right, it is just after 5 o'clock on Tuesday here. We're kind of thinking this might end up being our last day in South Dakota, at least for now. Lots of weather moving in. Tomorrow they're calling for like 40 degrees, 40 plus mile an hour winds. So not really sure if we're going to be able to get much hunting in tomorrow. So we're going to really hunt hard today. Spend as much time out there as we possibly can. Try to fill a couple tags before we have to head back to Minnesota. These birds have been tough. They've been really tough on us the last couple days. You know, it seems like they're just decoy shy. They're pretty flocked up, but they're also starting to break up. Yesterday afternoon, we started to see a lot of birds branching off on their own, looking for hens, stuff like that. But they just seem really educated. So we're moving to a different portion of the property today. Hopefully these birds haven't seen as much pressure. There's a whole pile of them in there last night, so we're going to slip in there this morning under the moonlight. It's dead clear out there right now, but the moon is pretty bright, so we're going to use that as kind of our own light to get in there tight, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
He's done. Hang on, Jake here.
we go. Finally got some birds to decoy, and those toms were coming right in. We didn't wait long on them. But man, about a, I don't know, 17, 18 yard shot on that first tom that came in. Smoked him, he went out. I don't know, he probably went 30 yards and died, and then the other toms just started going after him. And being the last day here in South Dakota, Zach handed me the camera. The legs were out, I couldn't really get it on the birds, but he took a couple of shots at 45, 50, just missing pretty much every time. Maybe even hit feathers on one or two, but they eventually worked off. We're gonna go down and recover the bird now. Pretty pumped.
Oh, we had to grind, baby. We had to absolutely grind the last couple of
Making sure those other birds moved off. Our dads are actually hunting about 500 yards up the ridge. So if they have any luck, if the birds calm down, maybe they'll get some action.
Well, DSD does it again, baby.
Yeah, you can see him just over there, probably 30 yards away by the fence, but you can tell from the feathers left behind, looks like the shot was right here. Decoy was at 15 yards, so 16, 17, 18 yards. Came right around you. Looked like the arrow was stuck in him. I don't think it came out.
Arrows from where I was zinging them at those toms, kicking the snot out of them. Yeah, baby. You kidding me?
Probably a 2-year-old, short spurs, maybe 3/4 inch, but
Man, let me get this try set up here.
there's Easterns out here and Merriams, and obviously some hybrids in between. I'm gonna guess this one's a hybrid. I'm not so sure, but could be more Merriam. But I'm gonna say hybrid.
I'm gonna say hybrid too. He's pretty buff.
Yeah, he just got a lot of buff. I've seen quite a few Merriams this trip, and some real nice Easterns, some big ones. So first bird of 2020.
Yeah, that's what we start off.
Got more to kill.
Finally, we moved over to a whole nother piece of the property that we haven't hunted, and we didn't even hear these birds this morning until probably after 7 o'clock or so. Then they actually worked up and actually onto some tribal land for a while, and we just kind of camped it out. We knew they were going to want to come back this way. They've been hanging in this area midday a lot lately, so we just basically camped it out on them, and eventually we could hear the hens working back down the ridge. And sure enough, the gobblers were following. They got out in this field here, hit a couple cuts. They come in right in.
Yeah, the whole group turned, which we weren't expecting because nothing's really been responding good to calls this week.
It's been
tough. It's early season, first week of April can be real tough. The birds seem educated.
it's a nice backdrop back there too, huh?
Things like that, but I don't know.
Pretty bird nonetheless.
Putting your time pays off, yeah.
Yeah, baby. We're gonna take a couple photos here, and then we're gonna go up and we're gonna show you guys our hide. We're up in some cedars tucked into the shadows. I cannot stress enough how important it is to get yourself into some shadows, get yourself into some dark cover, and birds can't see you, especially if you're archery hunting. We're not using a ground blind out here, so we really got to brush ourselves in, make sure we're in the shadows really good. If you do that, you can get away with murder just about every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Pull back when they're behind a tree, and that's kind of exactly what I did. He probably took another 7-8 yards after I pulled back. But
you can still hear them putting up. I'm sure they're probably watching us right now. You can hear them putting up on that ridge up there, but bird in hand, baby. Bird in hand. Yeah.
Alright, here we are back up at the blind. I'm just going to show you our setup again, kind of walk you through it. So the toms were down in this field right over here behind us, and they kind of were working with the hens, gave them some calls and turned the whole group, like we said. Came right up this way, and this tom, it was the fourth one hanging behind. We didn't even see him coming, but we could hear him gobbling behind them. So he came up first, and he came right up here. Looks like my shot must have been somewhere right in here. I'm guessing he was standing about here. But if you take a look from where his point of view was, what he was looking at, you can see our blind is about 16, 17 yards up underneath that cedar tree up in the shadows.
It is dark in there. The key to everything.
Keep those glares off your face, off your equipment, and you just look like a black hole up in there in that darkness. So very key all the time, anytime we set up. If we're not in the shadows, we're not setting up. You know, I don't know if I've ever sat in the sun. You know, I'll go to the other side of the tree just to get in the shadows. Helps tremendously. So obviously this bird didn't even see us. You know, so hopefully we'll be coming with some more hunts here soon. So
let's load up and lug this bad boy out of the woods.
Well, finally made it back to the truck, about a 3/4 of a mile walk. Thunderstorm last night, so it was pretty muddy. Got our work cut out for us, so now we're gonna head back for some lunch. We got some elk meat. We're gonna do up some burgers. I shot an elk last fall, so we're gonna have burgers for lunch and then recoup for the afternoon hunt. Try to fill some more tags.